You're listening to the Heroes Power Hour presented by BlizzPro.com. Your hosts, Balrog fan Zexorus and DJ Tyrant. What is up, everyone, and welcome to the Heroes Power Hour, episode number 92. Brought to you by BlizzPro.com. We are your Heroes of the Storm podcast. We are also partnered with Legion by Lenovo and Intel. Make sure to go check Legion by Lenovo out on all their social media. Just Google Legion by Lenovo, tell them we sent you, and check out all their wonderful products. But
they retweeted me this week.
Oh, there you go. That's awesome. But yeah, it's been a really busy week in Heroes of the Storm. We had HGC week number 3 with everything really heating up and the general shape taking form of the mid-season clash coming up. We also are going to be talking a little bit about the PTR and Lucio hype. Hold back your hype a little bit, but Lucio is coming. Another support.
Yes.
As you can see, Zex is a wee bit excited. But yeah,
a little bit.
First of all, thank you for coming by. My name is DJ Tyrant. I'm the host of the Heroes Power, but with me as always is the wonderful crew. Why don't we just talk about our weekend games and how everyone's been doing since the last show. Balrog fan, how are you, my friend?
Well, first off, I want to point out that you're now casting from the Nexus. That's a new thing.
Yes, I do have a green screen. I have it all set up now. It's fun.
I was snuggling him last night.
Yep.
That's beautiful.
He was in my house.
My week has been pretty good. I found out I really cannot play Li Ming. I kept thinking I was doing damage like decently. I'm like, okay, I'm not hitting all my skill shots. My damage was garbage. It was so bad. Carl can attest to how bad my Li Ming was because I could hear the sadness coming through his microphone. Like, oh no big deal. It was so bad, but I did get to Morales heal his Cho'Gall, him and his our friend of the stream Koopler, and yeah, that was fun. I just didn't have very good games last night. I had to easy mode it with Morales, and
that happens.
Yeah, I was having an off night. And I've been speedrunning the crap out of Shining Force. Been streaming a lot, pretty much. I'm staying on a pretty consistent basis, though I didn't get a stream in today because I had to do some stuff. But yeah, check out my stream if you want to see me play stuff. I'm going to try to do my Hero League placements soon, too. I just keep saying, I was going to do them last night, and then
some chump invited him to a party.
Yeah.
I keep putting them off, too. I've only done 3 of them.
I haven't done any. I haven't, had any desire to, just play with 4 randos and get told why I'm bad at the game, so but yeah, Carl immediately invited me to his party and then
saved you.
Immediately regretted that decision.
Oh no.
Yeah.
He
comes into the party and Cooper and I are hovering Cho'Gall and he's just, why did I even
log
into this game?
That's true.
That's
true.
funny.
But that ended
That's
up
funny.
working out.
No, that sounds like it would work out.
When I moved on to my Diablo quest or Assassin quest or whatever I had and tried leaving, that's where it all went to hell.
Oh my goodness! But P-Flame G, how about you? How were your Cho'Gall games there?
The Cho'Gall, we went 2-1 3 games with Koopler. I haven't played Cho'Gall since the Cho'Gall virus was going around, so that was fun. It went better than expected. But that was a year ago, wasn't it? Because that was last BlizzCon.
Yeah, it was right after last BlizzCon.
Anyways, I tried out Nazebo because he's been gaining some ground and competitive stuff. I tried out the Horse Pants guide that was on Reddit, and he's kind of right. Nazebo is a dumpster fire before level 10, and then from 10 to 19 he's a dumpster, and then from 20 on he's a really good hero.
Yeah.
So he upgrades from dumpster fire to just a plain dumpster.
Just a plain dumpster. That's it.
Okay.
You know,
at least it's not on fire.
Yeah, he's not like he upgraded from Eric to all 3 of the Lost Vikings.
Okay.
And then
So what is it? Wow. Is it the level 20 talent that just shoots him into the stratosphere?
Vile infection or whatever. It's because his trait. It's like whenever you kill a unit, you get some health mana. You gain a stack, whatever. And your trait applies a poison to non-heroic targets. So when you get to level 20, you pick up this talent where now if you're past 150 stacks, your trait applies to heroes and its damage is increased by 200%, which is the old OP level 16 talent and your old trait back when Nazebo was good. And so his damage hurts. Like his dot is absurd. You just land 1 WQ and they're out of the fight. It's a lot of damage. But before then, you're really not that impactful. Like you're a poke hero, but I'd rather have a Chromie. I'd rather have a Li Ming. I'd rather have a Kael'thas. Anything other than a Zebo until level 20. Mm-hmm. And his one advantage is he's really tanky because of his trait. I got mind control by a Sylvanas into like 3 of their team, and I was able to walk out. Partially because they sucked at focus firing. Partially because I had 600 bonus health.
Oh my
Plus
goodness.
That level 13 talent does help if you need it, if they overstacked ability power.
Yeah. That I got that one. So I took like 50% reduced ability damage, but 30% extra basic attack damage. Mm-hmm. So against a lot of teams, actually, that's pretty effective.
Yeah.
Zaxxerus, how about you?
I've played nothing but PTR, messing around with Lucio. I'm really excited for Lucio. And I've been doing a lot of speedrunning in the morning of Phantasy Star 4 still. Set a new PB today, which was nice. Mm-hmm. So
number 4 in the world. Congrats,
yes,
buddy.
now I'm actually on the... Now that I got a video people can watch.
There you go.
It can be proven. And that was a little bit too YOLO for me the end of that run. Final boss, lost all my defensive spells. Big damage spell comes out of the final boss, kills everybody but my healer.
Oh my gosh.
And I'm forced to attack because she wasn't going to be able to heal and survive whatever came next. And it ended up killing the boss, and she had 2 hit points left. Like there was no reason that should have happened, and it was actually pretty hype. So, but yeah, definitely playing Lucio. I was messing around with Murky a lot, and it's been a lot. They're both a lot of fun. I'm excited to talk about them here in a little bit.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, for sure. For myself, I really took it very casual with heroes this week. I braved solo queue and duo queue quick match. Played a little bit with Hafengrim, one of our awesome viewers who's been watching us for quite a while now. Thank you so much. But I played Valera, trying to get her up to level 5, and she's a fun hero, but she definitely needs a specific team kind of around her. Because if you have like multiple heroes that just are terrible at lane pushing like Valera is, it's a bad time. But when she opens up on someone, you can really blow people up. I know there's been a lot of talk on Reddit about how long that stun is, the cheap shot stun, and people are a little upset about it. But outside of that, she can find a spot, I feel like, and she is going to be getting buffs we saw in the PTR, which is interesting that they're coming so quickly because I didn't feel like she was wildly one direction or the other, like, oh my gosh, she's so powerful, or oh my goodness, she's terrible and can't be playable. Because I feel like it's one of the better balanced heroes that they've released, because it definitely feels like a World of Warcraft rogue, but doesn't feel overly powerful or underpowered. I don't know if you guys have had a chance to play her on live. If you have, let's talk a little bit about that, just because she is the newest hero available in the game. What do you guys think?
I've played her some. Or you can go ahead, Charlie.
Oh, I was just gonna say I had trouble like trying to grasp her kit a little bit outside of like what you're supposed to do when you're not stun jumping somebody. I guess that's the main point, obviously. But yeah, there's always been a disconnect for me in Stealth Heroes. So it's one of those things where I like the way she plays, but she's not suited to my style of play. Carl?
Yeah, I think, there's been a couple. I'm stealing this from Reddit, so I don't claim any of this knowledge. But on Hot Slogs, like her win rate on release was like 42%, and it's gone up to like 46 or something before the changes have gone through. So she's kind of one of those heroes that it takes a little bit to master. And if you just throw your average Joe player on there on his first game of Valyria, they're not going to do well. I think she will struggle to find a niche in the competitive scene more than Zeratul because of how much revealing shuts her down.
Mm-hmm.
Because she loses half her kit if you take her out of stealth. Like if you reveal a Zeratul, he can still blink on you and get a bunch of damage. If you reveal,
his abilities don't change. Is the thing.
Yeah, if you reveal Valyria, like she doesn't have a stun to initiate.
Oh my gosh! Okay, you just gave me an idea. I forget what the ability is called, but there is an ability for rogues in World of Warcraft where. When you're revealed out of stealth, you can still use your stealth abilities for a short duration. I'm almost wondering, like, if you could talent into that.
That would be a sick 20 talent.
That would be.
Is that Subtlety Master?
I think so. That sounds right. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I think the ult that people aren't taking right now can kind of offset that. Mm-hmm. Because I think that stealths you. Or at least it makes you like unstoppable and stuff. So I think that ult probably will be the one that gets picked in competitive play when she gets picked.
Yeah, and it drops all dots, I believe, as well.
It drops
everything pretty much.
And stuff.
Focus Shadows?
Shadow Stalker.
It's a powerful, save yourself ability. And in a pro play, if you drop the smoke bomb, they're just going to all right, let's, raggle on top of you.
Yeah. Cloak of Shadows.
Cloak of Shadows swish.
Yeah.
She's a last pick special extraordinary, I think, in competitive. Like, if you've got that last pick or you're going into your last two picks and you see the other team doesn't really have the option or you ban Tastar, whatever, Mm-hmm. You see we're going to see her more there. She'll never be like...
Yeah, I mean, you're definitely going to have to ban Tassadar to make her viable, but you're still going to have to deal with...
Tassadar right now anyways.
Yeah, I know, you're banning Tassadar anyways. But you're still going to have...
Tassadar, you're just doing the meta thing.
You're still going to have to deal with Malfurion, Medic, who else has the reveal talent at 1?
I mean, and pros can see stealth really easy.
Yep.
So, Malfurion doesn't even need the thing. He can just, moonfire her.
Mm-hmm. He can drop a scouting drone and she loses half her kit.
Yeah. So it's just any ability like that. So, we'll see. I think she might actually be good, not how people use her. But the Varian Tyrande combo we saw B-Step run successfully, where she's kind of that, where your tank initiates and she follows up with some stun and damage and not as much put herself in the middle of the backline without a good escape. I think that might end up being where the pros play her, as well as just the strong ganking presence that she is in the first 10 levels of the game.
Yeah, definitely agree.
I like her because she's pretty we all know I like my combo heroes. I like Chen, I like Kerrigan, and Valyria fits that mold for me. So when I play her, I tend to have more fun than most people would. Simply because of how much damage she does. I don't even mind the stun amount. I don't think the stun amount is excessive.
I don't think it's too bad
because
of the requirements for it.
She deserves that length of stun if she can get on you without getting revealed.
Mm-hmm.
Because there's so much to reveal stealth units now, and it just once you get the combos kind of memorized and flowing, she becomes actually pretty easy to play. Mm-hmm. In my opinion, but her whole gameplay, like Carlos said, centers around not getting revealed. Getting revealed is absolutely catastrophic for her at any point because it takes away half of her kit. Goes her opening. Whether she uses Garrote for a silence or the cheap shot for that stun, or even the ambush for the extra damage, just losing that opener is just really puts a damper on her. So but I don't think there's anything inherently wrong with her. She just needs to find her niche, like what comps will work with her. So
Yeah,
She
and interesting enough, I believe this week is the first week she is available for HGC, if I'm not mistaken. I can't remember. Maybe
now
not.
watch us all be wrong, and
I
she's
know.
like first pick, first ban every game.
We'll see. I mean, we've been wrong
Joe
about
Tomorrow
heroes
gets
before.
a win on the back
Oh my
of the
gosh!
strats.
Don't. No, now I'm going to change my picks. I'm kidding.
I don't know.
But, yeah.
Second guessing yourself might be helpful at this point.
We'll get to that in a minute. But first of all, I wanted to remind everyone we are a part of the Heroes Charity Brawl coming up on February 25th. That is just 2 short weeks away from from this Saturday. All the donations will go towards the Make-A-Wish Foundation. And I will be representing the Heroes Power there alongside Blizz Pro and many of the other fine Heroes of the Storm podcasting community. And let me bring up who exactly that is. Core Scott Johnson will be hosting it alongside Lords of the Storm, Into the Nexus, Hotscast, and of course myself for Heroes Power, representing all the wonderful co-hosts here. It's not just me that's going to be there. You know, you get what I mean? In spirit. But yeah, make sure to check it out. Donate if you can.
We'll be there trolling you.
I know. I hope so.
Oh yeah,
Please.
absolutely.
Yeah.
Please
you're
do
gonna
that.
Catch so much flack
Yeah.
from me.
Yeah.
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 Rip Ancestral.
Rip Ancestral. There we go.
Oh, right ahead of me. Jimmy, don't type ancestral.
Jimmy, pick the other team to win. That way you'll win.
Oh, jeez. Speaking of teams to win, though, we did have the third week of HGC NA and EU complete. We also had HGC Korea, which if you're trying to watch all of this, you're literally going to get 0 sleep because Korea starts at 1 a.m. Pacific, and the fun part about Korea starting so late is they have 3 best of 3s every night instead of 2 that NA and EU have to catch up to where they are in terms of games played. But we do have the results of NA and EU for you, and really quickly we're going to go over them. B-Step 3-0'd No Tomorrow, Gale Force 3-0'd Superstars, Freedom 3-1'd Naventic, Tempo Storm took the series over Teammate 3-2, Gale Force lost to Teammate 3-2, and B-Step 3-1'd Freedom. And then in the EU, we had Playing Ducks versus Tricked Out Esports, 3-2 going in the favor of Playing Ducks. B Genius versus Fnatic. Fnatic 3-0ing that series to absolutely no one's surprise. Synergy versus Misfits. Misfits 3-0s and puts them at 4-0 in the group. So they're looking strong there. Expert versus Dignitas. Dignitas took that 3-1 and probably one of the best series of the week. And Fnatic versus Expert. Fnatic took that series 3-2. And then Synergy versus Tricked Out Esports. Tricked Out Esports took that 3-1. So before we roast me, what matches kind of stood out for you? I think the Expert ones definitely stood out. They did lose both those series, but they looked competent. Like they didn't get completely destroyed, I feel like, in either of those series. And they still have a shot of potentially making the mid-season clash, but they have a big long road ahead of them to get to that point.
It's the top 2 teams go and the rest
Top
play in
3.
a tournament, or top. No, I know the top 3 teams go.
Oh,
But I know top 1 auto qualifies. Does top 2 auto qualify as well?
I do not remember.
Because
Let me look
it's
that
not
up.
just they take the top 3 in standings. Because
That
there's a
sounds right.
small tournament to get to the clash, as far as I remember.
Let me look that up.
I mean, as far as Expert goes, I had a lot of high hopes for them. I really believed in what ADRD and Benny were doing, and they kind of just proved they might just be the 4th best team in EU this year. You know, like
Yep.
Misfits looks unstoppable, and they could have beat either of those teams, but they got heavily outplayed in some of those losses and outdrafted, especially in that last.
They look different without Medivh.
Yeah. And the time they got Medivh, they let Medivh through, and they had the answer for that strategy. I mean, they just they basically got bullied in Towers of Doom. It was embarrassing to watch. The bottom heap was just completely under control of Fnatic. They really embarrassed Expert on that map, and it was kind of a bummer to watch because I had really high hopes for Expert. But
so I have that answer
that?
for you.
Okay.
Yeah, the Western Clash and Eastern Clash are March, so 1 month from now. Western Clash features the top 3 teams from HGC North America and HGC Europe, plus the top HGC teams from Latin America and Australia and New Zealand, making for 8 teams in a double elimination format.
Oh, okay.
So there you have it. And obviously Eastern Clash is going to be the top, let's see, it's top 3 from Korea, top 3 from China, 1 team from C, and 1 team from Taiwan.
Okay.
So those should be good. And that's coming up really soon here. So we're going to see how the top teams from each region do, and if Latin America can hopefully look decent this time around. Because they get dunked on pretty much every time that they've been in international play, I feel like, and I kind of feel bad for them a bit.
So the question is is Please Buff Arthas going to be representing Taiwan again?
I'd be surprised if they didn't, but I also do not follow the Taiwan scene.
I don't know how to follow these other scenes. I don't know how to follow New Zealand.
All right, so Taiwan C, I believe, will be a bit better this time around because they actually are flying out Jhao. And did we talk about this last week? But Babblecast is coming back for casting heroes.
Back.
Yeah, so that excites me because I always loved his casting, and his casting through 2015 was super awesome, and so glad to see him back for the scene. But I think that's next weekend, maybe. I'll have to look that up. I can't remember exactly when it is, but it is coming up. But out of the NA games, what do you guys think we could learn from that? I mean, obviously B-Step is coming into form now, and they're looking pretty good, I think.
They're looking okay. They're definitely not top 4 in my opinion. I don't think they're top 4. They're 5, 6. But
you'd put Superstars above them?
Yes, I would put Superstars above them.
Okay.
Teammate though is just the absolute Cinderella of this whole thing though. When with their victory against GFE last week was just amazing. They went the distance with Tempo Storm, which is something kind of rare for Tempo Storm. They pushed
Tempo
it to
Storm's
the 5
had actually a lot of 5-game series.
Have they?
Yeah, they have.
Okay. But still,
yeah, look at their win-loss record. It's 12-6 over 4 series.
Oh yeah, okay. So yeah, that's definitely a lot more. But even still, I mean, Tempo tends to win the long-distance series then, and for Teammate to go 5 and just not get raffle stomped by them, like a lot of people probably thought that was going to happen, is actually pretty impressive. And then they turn around, beat GFE. Like, they're obviously top 2 at this point. And in my opinion, the biggest surprise of this HGC so far, and honestly, congrats to them for as wonderful as they're playing right now. Like, their games are just straight up exciting.
Yeah.
So, the biggest choker is Naventic. Naventic and Freedom.
Freedom's 2 and 3. They win a couple series, and they're in the mix of it.
Yeah, when this season started, I was like, Team Freedom and Otmar are going to go like 1 and 6, and it's just not going to be, they're not going to do well. But Freedom is doing better than I thought. They're definitely a middle of the pack team, and Naventic is a middle to bottom team.
I think Naventic's. Yeah, I think Naventic is just straight bottom at this point. They're the very bottom of the dumpster fire.
Yeah.
Yeah. There are a lot of important games this week because B-Step finally they went back to 2015 meta. They're like, we know we were good in this, so let's beat people with this, and it worked.
Yeah. That was a joy to watch.
Yeah, the GFE beat Superstars, which is important because Superstars is another one of those middle of the pack teams, and GFE has to beat all of those to get that top 3 spot for the Clash. And then both teammates' sets were just great to watch.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of just decided. It's like, okay, B-Step's not awful, but they're not great because they can beat the bottom of the barrel teams.
Yeah.
They can beat Freedom. They can beat No Tomorrow. No, Freedom's not like bottom of the barrel, but they're not like great, you know?
Mm-hmm.
And See Me No More in chat brings up a really good point. We could see a big shakeup in the way this plays out next week with the new patch going live.
Yeah.
Like, all of a sudden, these middle-of-the-road teams that you're talking about, I mean, Gale Force could turn around and be, undefeated moving forward. Or they could completely bomb out of the meta. Freedom might just get a huge... I mean, this might be the time for Superstars to really step up. Yeah, this is going to be a very important week for determining if people are where they belong.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but, I mean, teams only have 3 or 4 matches left.
Mm-hmm.
You know, we're just past the halfway point. And so, I mean, this will be... you have to be consistent on 2 different patches to place at the end of this first season thing, but it's
Technically, it's the first half because the whole season
Yeah.
goes till May, I believe.
okay.
But
Yeah,
if Gale Force wins its next 3, let's say, I mean, they're sitting only at 2 losses with a respectable show.
Yeah.
Right now.
I mean,
yeah.
right now everybody kind of agrees Gale Force is probably the 3rd best team after they beat Superstars.
Mhm.
They lost to Team Freedom, so but Freedom I think has dropped enough games to like they're good, but GFE is probably going to sit in that 3rd spot.
Yeah. Yep, I agree with that. And
I do think, I honestly believe that any one of those teams could be in that 3rd spot. Anyone between 3 and 6 could be there.
Okay.
Well,
don't
I
think
agree.
it's
I
locked up.
agree.
GFE plays Tempo and No Tomorrow, so most likely they're going 1-1 in the rest of this half of the season.
I'm telling you, man, No Tomorrow's
faith,
gonna
wow.
shock the world with Valera strats and just pop Gale Force. It's going to be great.
As far as NA goes, though, No Tomorrow is actually the only team that cannot qualify for the mid-season clash so far.
wow.
That has to hurt morale, too. I mean,
Yeah.
how can they? And I would obviously Beat Genius in Europe is in the same boat.
Mhm.
So it's one of those things where...
Although I think
you
the 1
just-
and 4 teams are in the same spot too, though, because the top
Oh,
3
and-
are
yep.
4-0, 4-1, and 3-1.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah. So, I mean, at this point, you're just playing to stay fresh for when it comes time to, go against the elimination team. I think, personally, we'll see No Tomorrow bopped out. They don't look like they can win a series against a hot open.
Yeah, it's gonna be very tough for them. But do you want to amp it up a little bit? Talk about the PTR.
I see what you did there.
I'm sorry about that. Nice. Okay. So the PTR did drop yesterday, and Blizzard was teasing it for all over the weekend, and that cute little trailer for Lucio was awesome. But we
Yes.
do have another kind of mini event that Blizzard is putting out. It's going to be called For Azeroth, where you play Warcraft heroes, you get rewards, and basically once the patch drops on live, you'll be able to compete in this event and just play 15 heroes matches with a friend while playing as Warcraft heroes, and you will unlock a primal flame saber mount in World of Warcraft, which looks pretty freaking awesome.
The Warcraft mount looks
Yeah.
sick.
Yeah.
The
Yeah,
Heroes mount's like, it's reskin Judgment Charger.
Yeah, pretty much. You get 10 days impact for heroes in that Flames of Judgment mount. Okay. Also in the patch, this is kind of nice. A quality of life change, you might say.
Hey.
Reward requirements for the following brawls have been reduced from 3 to 2 games: Heroes of the Stars, Bloodlust Brawl, and Mage Wars. So those longer brawls. We haven't talked much about brawls lately, but they've been iterating week to week on those, and even this last week, I haven't played it yet, but they reintroduced the Hammer Time Brawl, but you start at level 10 now.
Oh,
Yeah, they
do
changed
you?
it. Yeah, you start at level 10 and the core's half health.
Yeah, so it's a little bit faster pace.
Oh, yeah, I should have read that. I saw Hammer Brawl and
Yeah.
immediately fell asleep.
Yeah,
like,
my
what?
brain immediately shut off. I'm like,
I was
I'm
like,
not
oh,
playing
Hammer
that
Ball.
crap again.
So they're listening. They're looking out.
Yeah.
They want I think they want the games to be faster, and definitely the brawls that are the arenas that they originally announced this mode with back in 2015. I think are the best ones that they have because they're always high impact, high paced, and really fun. especially when everyone gets all the same hero, because then it gets silly.
Yeah.
We had a Tychus one. And it was just we all went laser.
Oh God.
10
Laser
lasers.
boys. Yeah, and that's the thing I have with brawls. Like, if I'm gonna play these, I don't want them to take as long as a quick match or
Yeah.
an unranked. If they're gonna take that long, I'm gonna do that. So
Yeah.
yeah,
I enjoyed the
I was
Bloodlust
not a
one
big,
though, even though it was long.
Yeah.
the Bloodlust one was different enough to be fun. The hey, you're on a StarCraft map with StarCraft heroes, like,
That felt kind of bad.
I did enjoy Mage Wars.
Mage Wars was fun.
I will admit,
I
Mage
did like
Wars
that.
was a lot of fun. If only because it brought about the birth of Trucker Chromie.
I forgot that was the Trucker Chromie.
That was.
But as well on this patch, we have a brand new hero. Another Overwatch hero has made the crossover into Heroes of the Storm. We are getting Lucio to fill the support role in Heroes, and every support player out there rejoice because we finally have another option besides Valkyrian, Rhaegar, and Medic, I guess, right now for meta heroes, and Tassadar, I guess, as well. But he has some really cool, unique stuff in his toolkit. He's able to wall ride as his trait and able to just basically walk around impassable terrain. So that'll allow him
does
to
he have a
escape
mount
pretty
too?
well.
He does not have a mount.
So it's just the wall ride.
It's just the wall ride, but the wall ride, it gives him a 20% movement bonus.
Wow.
So,
He's
and
gonna
then
be really good on those maps with a lot of like tight corners and whatnot.
yes, he's going to be absolutely monstrous on Tomb of the Spider Queen
Yeah.
because it's a small map, and on top of that, there's walls everywhere.
Yeah. And getting
So-
to people for saves and whatnot.
But the thing I want to mention about this PTR patch and Lucio is if you go into the hero select screen, it's playing the Lucio music instead of just the regular music, and I love that. And Blizzard, if you change that, I will hate you forever.
You can't. That music is actually up on SoundCloud, by the way. It's been up for a few years. Ever since
Follow
they announced
Lucio on
Lucio.
SoundCloud.
Yeah, pretty much.
Mixtape
yeah,
from out
I-
2017.
Let's see. Google Lucio SoundCloud. It should come up.
Okay, but like I love Lucio. Like,
Yeah.
I love his kit. His kit is so. It's how I would have done Lucio had I hey Zex, design Lucio for the Nexus, okay? And we had talked about it about 4 or 5 months ago, not on a show, but I had said, I want Lucio in the Nexus, and this is what I'd do. I'd incorporate his wall ride. He's already got a kit ready to go.
Yeah.
Basically. But
The Overwatch characters seem to transfer over pretty nicely and feel and stay true to the fantasy of what they are in Overwatch. And plus, I mean, Lucio's just a really likable character. They haven't done before Overwatch, there wasn't really a lot of new stuff, new characters. It was a lot of just world building in most of the games, adding a few people, bringing people back, things like that. Overwatch drops and it's just suddenly a whole new universe with all new characters and everything. Hearthstone was big. That was just Warcraft. And Heroes is obviously just a mashup. So this Overwatch has done a great thing for Blizzard, and that's given them brand new characters. And Lucio's arguably one of the most liked ones. I mean, the hype is hard to contain for Lucio.
I don't play Overwatch. I hate Overwatch, but I love Lucio's concept.
Yeah.
That a guy who heals people with his music. That I just think that's the neatest concept. An audio medic, as he calls himself. That's just brilliant. And like his kit reflects that inside the Nexus. And there's some absolutely insane things in his talents. Like you can just straight up increase the movement speed bonus of crossfade. Okay,
That's, so
may
that's
I-
the thing.
may I-
That's the thing I really want you to talk about is the movement speed buffs that he provides. Like, how is that going to change the game?
Okay, so obviously we know Lucio. Crossfade is when he switches tracks from a healing boost, which is kind of small, but it ticks so rapidly. It's like It's like when Morales is healing you, how quick that tick goes. Like it's like that, but it's an area of an effect. So, and it goes from like at level 1, it's like 3 per tick. And then if you activate Amp It Up, which boosts the power of your crossfade, it goes up to like 27 hit points at level 1. It's just an insane amount of healing for the early game. If you're doing the speed boost, all your allies get a 15% speed boost. But some of his talents you can take, like if you take maximum tempo, it's a quest talent. If you kill 5 enemy heroes while crossfade's speed boost is active, when you use Amp It Up for speed boost, everyone within the aura gets a 60% movement speed boost for 3 seconds, as long as they stay in that aura. That is an absolutely insane amount of chase down or escape even. Like, what?
He sounds great. I
he
mean,
plays so wonderful.
I need more supports. So.
And he attacks like Tracer does, as we saw in the trailer for him. My only complaint was he kind of deprioritizes enemy heroes. Like I would be trying to run a hero down,
Yeah,
and then all of a sudden I'm attacking a creep, and I'm like,
I think
what?
someone reported that on Reddit. I don't know if there's been a Blizzard response yet, but I remember seeing that today. So potentially that is a bug, but we'll see.
Another bug I noticed was on the PTR is if Varian has Shield Wall and gets polymorphed by a Garden Terror while Shield Wall is active, it says he's polymorphed, but he's not polymorphed. It's kind of weird.
Nice.
So, but
did you report that one?
I did actually. But he's got such great talents. Like Lucy has such great talents. Like and like you can drop a boombox. That little wiggle guy you saw when he released on the PTR, that's his boombox. So you drop that, and it plays a crossfade track. And if you amp it up, if you cast Amp It Up, then that boombox also activates. So you can have this huge range of healing, movement speed, either or. And then there's other like loudspeaker at 7. You can, if there's 2 heroes in your radius, within crossfade's radius, its radius is increased by 50%. Like, and his late game damage or healing is just absolutely insane. Like reverse amp is nuts.
Yeah, I saw that and I was like, that heroic is terrifying.
Yeah, and it is. Like it does an idiotic amount of damage over those 4 seconds, because like when it says 201, but by the time you actually take it, it's adjusted for the level 10 stat.
Mm-hmm.
So
would you rather do that than the slow though? Because that's 45% movement speed slow.
Depends on how much damage I have backing me up.
Okay.
Yep.
If I'm playing with a burst comp, I'm probably gonna go the healing or I'm probably gonna go for the damage side of that ult. Just because we're gonna need consistent damage to apply to the enemy team in case anybody survives over time. Whereas if we're doing an auto attack comp, the slow is going to be absolutely brutal for that team.
If your team has plenty of damage and just needs to stay on the target for long enough, then the slow is really impactful. If your team can't actually kill anybody, but they have plenty of CC, you're one of those weird double warrior comps, triple warrior comps, then you're gonna want to nuke them.
Yeah, but like his healing just gets absolutely insane. Like he amp it up healing boost at 16. You can get a 3% maximum health bonus for that. So you heal like either 9% or 15% on depending on your talents.
Jeez.
It's absolutely ridiculous.
Oh my goodness.
And then like nonstop remix, I love the concept. I'd probably never take it. Encore is the one I like, but he also has a cleanse. So, and like the cleanse at 20 is an AoE cleanse.
But he does not get it till 20.
Right. And that's
It's
the downside.
strong at 20 if like they've got
If
a
you can
big
get
AoE
there.
lockdown.
Yeah, and all you got to do is press W and everyone gets cleansed.
Yeah.
That's the insane
No,
thing.
it's
You
strong.
don't have to hover over oh god, they're jerking my Dahaka away from everybody. I can't press Q on him quick enough. W. Oh, look, he's free. Yay.
Yeah,
and
for
his
sure.
frog skin is so good. I love
Oh
his
yeah,
frog skin.
no, I'm glad they brought that over from Overwatch. It makes me happy.
I either wanted the hockey skin or the frog skin.
Hmm.
So they gave me the frog skin came in. And I was like, I'm dropping the cash on this.
Yeah, I'm definitely excited for this release. Should be coming out next week for live and gonna break all the meta, I'm sure.
For Lucio players too, just throwing it out there, if you're encountering the auto attack glitch or bug or whatever it may be intended design, you can cancel his attacks by pressing H. So just a tip if you're playing in the PTR.
There you have it. And since this is a pretty big patch, they're actually bringing some other changes to certain heroes. I want to really quickly talk about this Falstad one, though. This is actually a pretty interesting change. They're touching Hinterland Blast once again in traditional Blizzard fashion to try to get people to use one heroic over the other. They didn't change the base cooldown on it, but they added functionality where the cooldown is reduced by 25 seconds for every hero, enemy hero that you hit. So it's really rewarding those who hit their NA Hinterland Blast.
And in actuality, this basically turns it into a 75-second cooldown heroic with occasionally being a 50-second cooldown heroic. And every once in a while, you're going to get the god play where you can double chain cast Hinterland's Blast because you nailed 4 or 5 of them. But most of the time, you use Hinterlands on one target to blow them up.
Mm-hmm.
Even though it's AoE, you just want it to, like, we caught that target and they're dead right now because I threw a boomerang and a Hinterlands. And I provided 1,200 damage.
I think it provides an interesting option or scenario occasionally if he's paired with Zeratul for Void Prison cancels and whatnot.
I mean,
but
it makes him better in
I
these
think
big
you're right.
AoE comps.
Yeah.
You get an ETC mosh pit, and that'll be
And you
really
get-
nice.
Oh God, I can imagine that now. Someone gets 3 Hinterlands off in a row because somebody hit a 4-man mosh.
Well, the
Jeez.
wind up is what, 2.5 seconds? that it
Yeah.
casts?
It's pretty big.
Honestly, I don't think anybody is actually going to get a useful third ult, but you can. There will be times where somebody casts 2 Hinterlands Blasts in a fight, and it's going to be absurd.
Yeah.
I'm glad they changed it. I think Hinterlands Blast is a really fun heroic. I'm glad because Gust is really strong utility, but when the utility is so strong, it crowds out the really flashy, high damage heroic that makes for the great plays. Then it's kind of a bummer.
It's still hard. They could do whatever they want to Hinterland Blast. The
It's
fact
still
that
gonna be
Gust
super hard,
exists,
yeah.
it's so hard not to pick Gust. It's such a good. You see people make plays with it, win
It's the
games
same
with
problem
it.
with Zeratul,
save
though.
ganks.
It's the exact
Yeah.
same problem, I feel like.
Yeah, Void Prison's just too good, and I mean it's going to happen from time to time on certain heroes. As long as not every hero has a clear-cut pick, I'm okay with one being the other. That being
I
said,
mean,
this is
people
a good
said
sh-
that about Gust 2 years ago.
Yeah,
They said Hinterlands is too good.
Mhm.
You're never going to want this knockback over a huge
Oh my
burst of
goodness.
damage.
Yep.
And people
But-
said that about Earthquake. They're like, this is the long-range stun. Why would you ever want to slow? Like there are changes that can be made to make it worth it.
Okay,
Yeah.
I suppose.
VP
Although Hinterland
is an
Blast
extreme case because VP is actually a broken heroic.
it's actually just straight up broke.
It is.
Uh,
It changes games.
Gust was always kind of pretty much the same thing though, right? And they just lowered
Yeah.
the cooldown a bit, and then all of a sudden,
Yeah.
the pro scene started, and it was like, oh, we
Oh,
should
the
make
pros use it
Well,
like
they
this?
steadily nerfed Gust and steadily brought down Gust cooldown to like 30 seconds.
Yeah, it was ridiculous.
That's
back
when
then.
it really came
was
on
that like 30
online.
or 40?
It was 30, I think.
30? Jesus.
Yeah.
Yeah, there was a point where it was just like people were still taking Hinterland's Blast and Gust was just straight up bonkers. And people slowly changed, and then they had the nerf Gust because like, okay, you realize this is powerful now. We can put it back to a reasonable state.
Dirty person of the evening in chat brings up a good point. The bosses are going to be easier to steal with what? The bosses. The Hinterland Blast is going to be good boss defense. So
Yeah,
if you know they're there, they're generally clumped. So there's
That'll be
good
gross.
opportunity there.
That, but Gust is also really powerful.
That's
boss
yeah.
defense.
Dang it, they're both good.
Dang it, Gust.
Yes.
Why
I
are you
know.
so good?
I want this Hinterland change to mean something. Why are you so good, Gus?
I think we'll see it occasionally.
I think it'll mean something. I think people will be slow to realize it, but
Yeah.
I'm not going to flame anybody for picking Blast in my games anymore.
Yeah. Speaking of heroics getting changed, though, our friendly Worgen is getting his heroic that no one ever picks changed. Marked for the Kill is getting renamed to Curse Bullet, and now it fires a bullet that hits the first hero in its path, dealing 35% of their current health as damage. That's disgusting.
Does it have a reasonable projectile speed?
That is the question. 30-second cooldown costs 50 mana.
Yeah.
Let me check, guys.
Nobody picked his other ult because nobody could hit it. So that's kind of good. Like, is honestly probably the same amount of damage you get from it as before.
Mhm.
So it's if people can hit it, it'll be good. And it'll provide like a human form pokes type. He doesn't have to hard engage for this, which will be really nice. But it's still like, if nobody can hit the ult, nobody's going to pick it over go for the throat.
Yeah, there's potential there. There's more potential than there's ever been for this, but still, it's such a hard heroic to hit.
I'm loading into try mode right now to give you the answer.
There we go.
Thank you, Zach. Can we talk about Thrall though, real quick, because I really like these changes.
I love these changes. But yeah, Earthquake in Thunder now will not be interrupted, or not be able to be interrupted during his cast animation, so they will go off no matter what.
Yeah, and
They're now uninterruptible.
Basically.
he pretty much needed that. I mean, I don't think Thrall was in a bad place, but he centers around a lot of his gameplay centers around hitting good ultimates, and
It does.
when you can give him that 10-second global, you can really wreck a team fight, and for no real good reason. Most heroes are able to get off their ults, you know.
Yeah, ETC is another one that struggles with getting interrupted, but that's kind of there for a good reason.
Yeah.
Because a good Mosh is one of the more powerful ults in the game.
Should he be unmovable when he's not like unstoppable, but like I always feel kind of weird that Gust is on such a short cooldown compared to Mosh Pit, and a lot of times Gust is just like, nope.
Mhm.
I mean, is that just like good meta counter picking?
Yeah, I mean it is, because if you make because people will cleanse the ETC or sank on top of the ETC and do these things to make it work, because a 4-second AoE stun that's non-counterable is just bad for the game.
Yeah, I mean, I'm okay with him being stunned out and everything. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying just specifically to Gust. But yeah, I guess when you start casting...
There's no way, unless you said Mosh Pit is no longer affected by Hinterland's Blast.
Right.
Mighty Gust.
You can't
Oh
really...
my gosh. That'd be
Patch
gross.
like ETC is too heavy. I don't
ETC
know.
patch.
Yeah.
So to answer the Greymane question, the projectile speed is decent. It's not instantaneous, but it's something that's definitely going to be hard to dodge away from if you're not on the very edge of it. So
I mean, it's a good tank shredder.
Yeah, no, it's absolutely brilliant. It does. That's 35% of a target's health. You're not going to get a kill with it. I mean, with it directly, because it's percentage based.
So
Yeah, it's on
here's the
current.
question: is it affected by vulnerability and armor?
No,
No, it's just a straight 35%.
it's a straight 35%.
Okay.
So
Because it's of their current health.
yes.
Yeah. So Greymane countering Cho'Gall. Goodbye.
That's pretty good, actually.
Man.
Is it current health?
Yeah,
It's current
current
health.
Okay. Thought it was max.
So there's no way you can delete somebody with
It's
this.
not a execute.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah, it's
Set him up for the kill, basically.
Yeah, you initiate with it.
Yeah, it's definitely an initiation tool. The problem is like it loses its utility when you're trying to chase down targets. It's not the option for getting the kill on a fleeing target.
Yeah.
Which at a 30-second cooldown, some fights might be a poke war back and forth at 30% when the other team retreats. You might go for the throat in that situation.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think, and hopefully it'll be picked up.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll see. Moving on
Valera
to
changes.
Valera. Basic attack damage getting increased, health regen increased. Ambush is getting the energy cost reduced. Garrote silence increased, but initial damage is being reduced, and also the damage over time. And Cloak of Shadows, we talked a little bit about this when we were talking about Valera earlier. Cooldown is dropping to 15 seconds, and the duration is increasing by half a second. And a lot of the talents are getting buffed as well. So it looks like it's just some minor nerfs to try to up her damage overall. And they seem minor enough that I'm not too worried about them going completely out of control. But what do you guys think of these changes? They're pretty minor, but they are kind of across the board for her.
I think they're significant. I think we'll see a 3 to 5% jump in win rate, honestly.
much?
I'm saying that much partially because people are still learning the hero.
Yeah.
And so when you have that where her win rate should naturally increase some, where these people who are specialized familiar mains will be really effective with her, and you are having the energy cost on her ambush is actually significant because that's where she spends most of her energy. Is like you open with a W or an E, and then you just queue them until you have 3 stacks, and then you keep queuing. And then if you have 3 stacks, you use your E again, and you keep queuing. So it's, I don't know. I think the talent changes are kind of the low performing talents, but health changes, the Q energy, I don't know. I think she's going to go up. If she wasn't still people learning how to play her, it'd be more like a 2 to 3% buff, but I still think it'd be significant. But this is going to be combined with people learning her. She'll break 50%.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Moving on though, I think one of the other really interesting ones is Varian. We've seen a lot of play from HGC of Varian. Essentially, his level 13, level 16 talents are getting swapped. Flame G, I want to go to you because I know you play a lot of Varian. What do you think of this swap here?
I'm really happy about it because, like, you kind of think about it, it's like, oh man, he's got Shattering Throw. He's a great shield counter. But it's like that's level 16. Like 3/4 of the time, the game's decided by level 16. So bumping it up, while basically removing shields from their team comp is a really powerful ability and shouldn't be before 10. Having it more accessible is really strong. And I'll miss having AoE 25 armor, until 3 levels more. But having the tank killing ability or the heal reduction ability or the shield reduction ability at 13 will make him, this more of this pick where you say they have something in their comp that Varian can beat.
Mm-hmm.
So I think it's a really good change. I'm happy about it.
What do you think, Zex? We've seen a lot of Varian in HGC. We even casted some during the Open last night. What do you think about the swap of the banners to 16 and the other talents to 13?
I think it was actually pretty necessary in this case for all the reasons Carl just listed out. Like, some of Varian's best abilities were at 16. You know, the shield counter, Mortal Strike, and Juggernaut. They would come at a point too late in the game. You know, but by swapping these two talents, you just simply fix that problem. So we may even see a nice little bump in Varian's win rate because of this. So, like, Carl summed it up real nice. I don't know why he came to me, to be honest. That was just a lot of I don't even know. Like, Carl said it all. That was much more eloquently than what I could have right there.
Let's talk murky.
Yes, let's talk murky.
Let's talk a little bit murky.
I don't play murky.
I don't play murky either.
Nobody likes him.
Nobody plays murky.
Good talk.
Moving on. Abathur is getting changes.
I will stab somebody in the face, and Charlie's the closest one to me.
Uh-oh.
That's true.
I'm safe here in Texas.
You got guns.
You are
Oh my
not.
goodness. You have guns.
Not safe.
No, but seriously,
okay.
Abathur is getting a couple damage upgrades, but they're very minor to the Q, W, and E when he's on hatting somebody. That's it. Murky, though.
Okay.
Tell us about Murky's hikes.
Oh, God. So Murky's getting a health buff from 65 to 761. That's already insane. That's pretty much a sixth of his health right there. His resurrect time, however, got bumped up from 5 seconds to 8 seconds. Oh, no, 3 seconds. A ton of changes here. Slow. Slime. Slow increase to 25%. Pufferfish. Only deals 50% damage to structures. Pufferfish can now be targeted by structures. Pufferfish now has 225 health and takes damage from abilities. So keep that in mind now. It's not just poke it 3 times and it's gone. Explosion radius increased by 50% and now scales at 5.5 additional damage rather than the 4% standard. March to the Murlocs. Down to 80 seconds. The little Murlocs move 30% faster now. So it's harder to get out of there now.
All right, they're more obnoxious. Hooray.
Yay. And
You're
they
muted,
come more
Charlie.
often. Charlie's
Charlie,
trying to
muted.
talk. Charlie, muted.
This is a full rework here. I think going through it bullet point by bullet point is going to be a bit tough, especially since I really believe a lot of this is going to change going into live next week. I mean, what do you think the best change he has is?
Egg Hunt.
Egg Hunt.
Egg Hunt is a new talent at level 1. Activate to place a fake egg. If it dies, it casts slime. You can have up to 3 fake eggs on the field. It's a 6-second cooldown.
And then upon spawning from an egg, Murky is stealth for 5 seconds.
That is pretty big. I mean, it kind of really fixes a lot of the problems he has currently.
The other thing. I think Murky has the best bribe right now. Killing an enemy minion with Pufferfish grants a stack of bribe. 5 stacks to capture a mercenary camp. You can have 20 stacks. Think about how often you're killing minions with Pufferfish, and how often you're going to have bribe up.
That's pretty good. That might make him one of the best Merkers. The problem is you got to give up that egg hunt talent, because those are both level 1 talents. Mm-hmm. So
yes,
I definitely like the idea of the diversity in the picks. Egg hunt seems really hard to pass.
Making that level 1 choice difficult.
So here, now, okay, so check this out. Okay, level 13, eggshell. Okay. Respawning from an egg grants Murky a shield equal to 100% of his maximum health. That shield lasts indefinitely. Okay, so, it sounds good. You get a full health shield. Let's move to level 20. Big Tuna Kahuna.
Best name ever.
Big Tuna Kahuna.
Murky's maximum health and egg respawn times are doubled. So Murky gets double health, but you're out for 16 seconds whenever your egg dies.
Yeah, but you're double
Yeah,
health.
but your health now probably rivals Tracer's.
Yes. And that's and plus if you couple that, like I think egg build Murky is gonna be the go-to build on this guy. Like you get that stealth, you get the fake eggs that cast slime. So like finding his actual egg is going to be next to impossible.
Mm-hmm.
Like you will have to actively like that fake egg's cooldown is 6 seconds.
So do you think the better strategy is to have fake eggs about to juke players and keep a safe egg back? Or do you have like a fake egg and your real egg kind of close next to each other so they have to kind of play a 50-50 guessing game, or all of them together? Or
none of them together? Throw them all over the map.
Does it give you any kind of indication that... I guess it would have to because it releases the slime when you blow up the fake egg.
Right.
So you know when you found a fake egg.
It won't reveal Murky if you kill a fake one.
Right, and while you are playing Murky, when you drop a fake egg, there's a little taunt sign on top of the fake egg. I'll call it. Like when you check it out, you'll see it, but you'll see what I mean.
It's pretty clearly marked. That's good.
Yeah, it's very clearly marked that is your fake egg. So
it sounds. I mean,
I'm actually excited to see this in action.
They've finally done some stuff that, like, what all has always worried me throughout ever since the alpha. Basically, Murky has always been a hero. Like, if you adjust him at all, he's too good, and then if you adjust him back, he becomes garbage. So hopefully, this talent rework really did him a favor and lets them allow to actually tool around with this kid a bit. I'm worried that he might end up being a little too strong on Dragonshire because he's already like. That was his map when he was good.
Yeah, it seems like they're trying to scale
the
back
3 seconds
his sieging
actually
a little bit.
matters on Dragonshire because it was like you couldn't ever actually cap a shrine because he's back by the time it was done casting, or get a dragon.
Yeah,
right? Because he was back by the time it was done casting. So 3 seconds actually matters there.
Yeah,
so
8 seconds.
He won't be as obnoxious, but it'll be harder to kill. So I don't know. He could still be good on Dragonshire, but just because he's good.
Okay. Interesting. Yeah, I forgot about the spawn egg changing, so.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Those are going to be some interesting changes. Obviously, there's some other changes we didn't have the chance to necessarily go over. There's a ton of changes and bug fixes all through in this patch, so make sure to check those out on the patch notes at heroesofthestorm.blizzpro.com. You can get all your heroes news there, as well as strategies and HGC news. And speaking of HGC, we're in week 4 of HGC, and I didn't do so well this week on my predictions, to say the least. Those of you just joining us for the first time, Powerhour fan, why don't you tell us a little bit about what we're doing on the show, how we're doing these picks, and what exactly it all means for fun here.
Okay, well, what we're doing every week, and we started this in week 2, we did not do week 1. We are picking who's going to win the matches in all of European and North American matches in the coming week. If we get a correct answer, we get 1 point. We also pick, we think B-Step will win 3-2. And if that indeed happens, you get 3 points. And everybody is afforded 1 lock of the week. You do not have to use it, but if you use the lock of the week on your pick, that means you are saying you are definitely going to be right, and you are rewarded. If you are right, you get 2 points. If you guess the match total, you get 5 points. But if you're wrong, it's a negative 3 points. Just a fun thing to kind of show off what we think about the games coming up next week, what's worth watching, and to keep track of who's better at doing what all season long. So it's just something fun we decided to try out. Also, we have Carl's MMR thing too that we should post up a little later.
Yeah, we can throw that up. I wanted to really quickly show our current standings after the first 2 weeks of doing this, and you Flame G, you were on the bottom of this list last week, and all of a sudden you're up on top, buddy.
I had a good week last week.
Points.
He got 27 points. It was insane.
Mm-hmm. Oh my!
Are you gonna let me? So, Flame, are you gonna let me borrow your DeLorean? Like, because I understand you got
9 points ahead of the next guy.
Yeah.
Yeah. The next guy is Balrog fan, who had a pretty solid week as well.
Yeah, I had an average week. If I didn't put so much stock into expert, I probably would have. I would have been a little closer. But I believed in expert, so.
Yeah, and the 28 points is actually it's only 1 point below Balrog fan. I had a good week as well. And then there's me at 24 points.
Well, what's funny, going into this week, you hadn't gotten a single pick wrong, Jimmy. Like you weren't predicting series, but you were tied for first, and your week started off pretty strong. You going into Saturday, you still hadn't had a wrong pick.
Yeah, and then Saturday just derailed me because I
had a lot of wrong picks.
I was like, oh, Team Expert's gonna win that series against Dick. It's gonna be 3-2. It's gonna be close, but I thought Expert was gonna win, and I rode that train alongside Balrog fan. Clearly, mistakes were made.
Yeah, I wasn't confident enough to lock any of those though, so
No,
I did dodge that bullet.
I took the easiest lock of the week. It was like Fnatic versus B Genius. It's like, that's going to be an easy 3-0.
I might be taking a very easy lock this week as well.
That's a good strategy. I mean, you gotta take what makes sense.
I mean, I was at 11 points last week. I was taking everything I could get.
Yeah.
Some call it an easy strategy. I call it being a chicken.
Aww.
I went kind of gutsy with the 3-0 Freedom over Naventic, and it almost paid off.
Yeah, because it was 3-1 Freedom, wasn't it?
Yes, I still got the 2 points, but I almost got the 5.
Yeah.
That was very close.
Real quickly, though, before we get into our picks for this upcoming week, Carl, why don't you talk about your MMR ranking that you've put together for HGC and tell us a little bit about the movers this week.
Yeah, so just a quick refresher. I built a arbitrary MMR system to keep track of wins and losses, and you get less points if you beat No Tomorrow because you're supposed to beat them. You get a bunch of points if you beat Tempo Storm. And then if it goes to 5 games and stuff, you don't get as many points as if you 3-0'd them. So anyways, as far as the table goes, you can hopefully read it. I put little markers on the right as far as yellow means they stayed in the same spots. No Tomorrow is still a dumpster and Misfits is still on top. And then green means they went up. So Beastip was the only team to go up 3 slots this week because they went 2-0. And so like I said, they were 0-3 and now they're 2-3, and they performed pretty convincingly. And so they're now 4th in NA. I think they play Superstars this coming week, which will kind of differentiate those two pretty well. But it was pretty big for them for that to happen. And then you can see, even though Tempo Storm beat Team 8, they're still only like a 20-point difference because Tempo Storm's gone to a lot of Game 5s and Team 8 has 3-0'd a lot of people. So I think that's just interesting. And then as far as EU goes, Tricked went up 2 slots by winning a single game. They go for B Genius.
Mm-hmm.
B Genius is further in the dumpster. And then Expert dropped. They were second, but they lost to Fnatic and Dig both, and so now they're in 4th. So I think these are really shaping up. You know, you've had a lot of these matchups where it's like, okay, how does Expert actually face up against Fnatic and Dig, and how does Team 8 face up against Tempo Storm and Gale Force? And it, we kind of see how it goes. So it's just a kind of fun thing I did.
Yeah, and I feel like these are pretty close to how I feel about the strengths of both the NA and EU right now. And I really like that you put this together, and it makes for a fun little segment that we get to have every week now of HGC.
So some of these teams have 4 games, some of them have 5. So the standings are a little weird,
a little
but they're
wonky
still
there.
pretty good.
But do we want to get into our picks for week number 4?
Let's do it.
That
Ready
sounds
for another
good. I'm going to be
29-point
frantically
week.
note-taking here.
Okay.
Excuse all the clicking.
Yeah. So I'm going to start with NA. We're just going to go through all of NA, then all of EU. We'll start with Tempo Storm versus No Tomorrow. I have Tempo Storm winning in that 3-0.
Alrighty. Willie?
Can I actually give No Tomorrow negative points?
Aw.
Like,
That's
can I say like B step 3 negative 3? Or I'm sorry, like, B step or
Tempo
whoever.
Storm?
I don't
Tempo
Storm.
Storm.
Yeah.
Tempo
He doesn't even
Storm.
care. He doesn't even care who
What?
they're
Yeah.
playing.
He just
Yeah,
heard
I
no
don't-
tomorrow, and he's like,
I
yeah,
was
3-0.
like, yeah, what? Like, No Tomorrow's not winning.
Yeah, 3-0. The pile of clothes at the computer. I still beat no tomorrow. Probably.
No
So-
Tomorrow
Oh,
has
man.
no future. 3-0 Tempo Storm.
Oh.
As bad as I feel for
Yep.
them,
All right,
if they're
P-Flame.
not.
I'm going to go 3-1 Tempo because Tempo has the highest tendency to drop gains of most of the upper teams. They still close out sets, but they don't perform cleanly in all of their games. So I'll say it's 3-1.
Lock of the week here for me. I mean, this is easy. Tempo Storm 3-0. They might drop games, but they do not drop games to people who don't know how to play the game.
Oh, wait for mine. Mine's even more chicken than this.
I don't even know how that's.
Is
chicken.
it,
That's
is it
just-
Misfits be Genius?
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
That one's a safer bet than Tempo. No
I think
Tomorrow.
so.
Yeah, it is.
Naventic Superstars. I'm not completely off the Naventic train here, so I have them winning this series 3-2.
Why?
Because he said he's not completely off the Naventic train.
Yeah,
Exactly.
I feel like
he's-
Come on.
I feel like
That's
he
all I need to know.
prefaced that with an exclamation in which you asked why. What are you doing?
Well, because his explanation wasn't good enough.
So
Because they're not a complete dumpster fire quite yet, and I think they're still a possibly top NA team. But
This is one of the teams that was supposed to be like top team.
I know,
in
I
NA,
know.
and they're nowhere near that. How can you not classify that as a dumpster fire? I mean, you can say it's a
Because
fire.
they have a win, they have a series win. They're not a
Over
complete
what? No
dumpster.
Tomorrow?
Yeah, over No Tomorrow, which took them to 5 games, if I remember correctly.
No way.
I'm pretty sure they did.
I'm
Oh my
pretty
Yeah,
sure
No
they
Tomorrow
took-
went up 2-0, and Naventic
And
had
then-
to
Oh,
come
that's
back.
right. Okay.
So
I'm still
it's
sticking with
literally
3-2. I
a
don't
dumpster
care.
fire.
We
mean,
haven't technically transitioned. Jimmy, has he argued you into a different pick?
No, I'm going 3-2 with Naventic.
Okay, Willie.
Who's? I don't even know who's playing now.
Superstars and
Naventic
Naventic.
Superstars.
Stop
Superstars,
trolling people's other
3-1.
pick.
Superstars 3-1.
Carl.
Superstars 3-1.
Superstars.
It's okay. Okay, Jimmy, you know what? You're right. They're not a dumpster fire. They're a landfill fire.
They're a landfill fire. Okay.
Yeah, Superstars 3-0.
Ooh, okay.
I don't believe in Naventic. I don't like what they're doing.
Yeah.
I think Zuna and Kenma are not. They shouldn't be on the same team, honestly. I don't think they work well together, which is surprising because aren't they related?
They are
Brothers,
brothers.
Yeah,
yeah.
they do. They seem to always not play off each other. I don't like it. I don't think they're very good, and I don't think they can beat Superstars, who has played well against hard competition. They've had a rough schedule thus far.
Yeah. Alrighty, Superstars and B-Step. I have B-Step 3-1 in this series. They're looking strong right now, and I think they're coming online at just the right time. Dex?
I've actually got B step 3-2 over Superstars right here.
You flame?
I also have B Step 3-2 over Superstars. But this could go either way. I want to have faith in B Step.
I'm going Superstars 3-1.
There you go.
There we have it.
I think they've had a tough schedule and they've looked good in their losses, so I will. I
That's
would
fair.
like to see them beat B-Step. And plus, I think there's might be some counter banning to the stuff B-Step did last week, so we'll see if B-Step can respond to that.
Mm-hmm.
And next we have Team 8 in Naventic. I have Team 8 taking the series 3-1. Zex?
Willie?
3-0, Naventic, lock it up.
Naventic.
Wait.
No, teammate. You didn't. Wait.
I thought you lost your mind for a
Right.
second.
No, teammate, lock that one in. That
Oh my
we're
goodness.
gonna see the absolute clowning of Naventic this game. Like,
Oh my god. You had me there.
I really thought, I was wondering what I thought maybe you had a stroke and we had to take P
Call
Flame.
the Indiana ambulance.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm gonna
Just
say
a mesh
teammate
buggy.
Trio.
And the area I'm in, that's entirely possible.
Teammate. What do you say?
Oh,
You said
3-0.
3-1 or 3-0?
3-0.
I'm gonna make a 3-0.
Yeah, I'm in the same boat. Teammate looks too good right now for an Eventic to try and overcome them.
And teammates had cleaner games versus lower tier teams than Tempo Storms had.
Yeah.
Alrighty, Tempo Storm and Gale Force, kind of the pennant match, I feel like, for this week. I have Tempo Storm winning this 3-1. I feel like Gale Force has kind of lost a bit of a step in their kind of dominance that they started out the league with. And I think Tempo Storm is firmly in first place in NA and will pretty soundly beat Gale Force.
You said 3-1?
3-1. Tempo.
Zexorus?
3-2, because both 3-2 Tempo Storm. Tempo Storm just looks too strong right now, but both Gale Force and Tempo love going to 5 games.
Yep.
So we're gonna see this one go to 5 games.
P Flame?
I'm gonna say 3-2 as well. Tempo Storm has only had one set that wasn't a 5-game series, and Gale Force is good enough to force that. The one that wasn't was Dumpster Fire Week 1 B-Step.
Yeah.
So
I am also going to go Tempo Storm here, but I'm going 3-1 simply because of how bad Equinox looked. That Artanis was eye torture to witness. Like he was his Diablo too. Oh my god. Equinox.
Man.
Nobody, no. Just no.
Oh,
All
my
right, up
goodness.
next we got
Yeah.
the final match is Freedom versus No Tomorrow. Jimmy, what do you got?
3-1 in favor of Freedom. Zex.
3-2, no tomorrow. They're gonna win one. Law of averages.
Not this week.
3-2 No Tomorrow.
T-Flame.
3-1 no tomorrow.
Thank you, Carl. Not to say.
Wait.
Freedom
I
versus
meant
No
3-1
Tomorrow.
Freedom.
There we go.
I
Almost,
meant yes.
almost got talked
When
into
I
that.
get when I get my points, I will just laugh.
Yes, you can laugh at us and you can dance.
I
If
will.
you want to.
I will. I'll leave my friends behind.
There we go. Valor fan, how about you?
3-0 Freedom. Come on, guys.
All right.
What are you doing?
There we go. And now for EU week 4, we have starting off the day Dignitas versus Plain Ducks. I have 3-0 in favor of Dignitas here. Zax.
3-0 Dignitas. Who's playing again? Dignitas and
Plain
somebody I
Ducks.
don't care.
Playing Ducks.
Ducks.
Oh yeah, Woodskin. Yeah, 3-0 Dignitas.
P-Flame.
3-0 Dig.
Yeah, I'm jumping in this pool with you. I can't pick Duck. I mean, they had a decent. They look better since they've switched to Ducks, but Dig is in a whole different bracket. So 3-0 Dig.
Alrighty. Up next is my lock of the week. Misfits 3-0 over B Genius.
You locked an Eventic match. I don't even want to hear it.
I think Willie's always going to be locking Eventic losing.
Yeah.
That's a simple strategy.
Both strategy, Cotton.
Right. Zex?
3-0 Misfits. There's no way Misfits is losing this. There's no way Misfits is dropping a set. Or even a game. Like,
Yeah.
not
Misfits
even
is like 3-0'd everybody they've played.
Yeah. It's
Misfits is 12-3 overall.
Yeah. They've looked really good. Like, they 3-0'd Dig.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, I don't think playing Ducks is going to...
yeah. So are you going 3-0 Misfits as
yeah,
well?
I'm going 3-0 Misfits.
And yeah, I'm also jumping in that pool. 3-0 Misfits.
And in probably one of the weakest matches of the week, B Genius in Tricked Esports. I'm going to give us 3-1 to Tricked. Zach, how about you?
I can't wait to watch this kindergarten slap fight. It's I've got a 3-1 B Genius.
Purple?
I'm going to go 3-2 for Tricked. I'm going to say 5-game Clown Fiesta between these two. Tricked is probably slightly better, but...
Yeah, I'm going to go 3-1 Tricked here. At least Tricked look like they have a pulse compared to B Genius. I don't like B Genius. They're a waste of my time, to be quite honest. I feel like I could be learning a skill rather than watching them.
As Happy Grim says in chat, wow, you all are harsh. Oh, we're just having fun with this.
EU is the region where it has more disparity than NA. Like
Yeah.
the bottom teams look bad, and the top teams look really good. Like they're getting the 3-0s in EU, and so these are teams that have been 3-0'd several times, and so it's just when they play, you know, you don't even know how they win a game because they haven't.
Exactly.
Moving on, though, we have Team Expert and Misfits. I'm going to put Misfits in the driver's seat here, taking the series 3-1. Zex?
Sexers?
Misfits 3-0. Like ADRD's a new Glorong.
The
Before
Lifetime
Glorong got
Achievement Award.
before Glorong got much better and learned more than just two heroes.
Glorong looks great, by the way.
Yeah, he is
Really good right now.
playing it out of his mind.
You know how
I've
the
never been a
NBA
huge
gives
fan
out
of
that
Glaurung,
most
but he's
improved
been
player?
good.
You know how the
Most
NBA gives out
improved player,
awards
yeah.
at the end of the season, like most improved player and stuff, and MVP? I feel like they should do that for this league, and he should win most improved player. Easy.
I mean, he hasn't really improved throughout the league. He hasn't improved as opposed to 2 years ago when he was on Tempo Storm.
Right. But as a player, he looks way better. And
He looks much better than he used to, yes, but he's looked good the whole season.
So, what are you picking for this, Carl?
Which one are we on? Expert
Misfits
Misfits?
versus Expert.
Expert 3-1. I think ADRD will get a game off, but Expert is the better team.
You mean Misfits is the better
Misfits,
team?
yeah.
You're saying
what I
Misfits.
mean.
Did I?
That's
I'm
what I
saying
mean.
all these things
Saying
backwards.
Expert's
Yeah.
going to take a game off Misfits.
I'm saying
Yes,
Expert's going to take
yes,
one game
absolutely.
off Misfits,
Yes.
but
Are
Misfits
you-
will win the
How
second.
much have you had to drink tonight? Are you old enough to drink?
I am 21. I'm turning 22 in
Oh,
like a
that's
week.
how you are 21. Yeah. How
Oh
much have
my
you had
goodness.
to drink? Are you feeling okay? A little lightheaded?
Oh, my goodness.
I'm going Misfits 3-1 as well. I mean, it's boring that we're all kind of picking the same way through Europe, but that's the way Europe's been.
I know you're drunk.
Yeah.
Charlie's finally giving up on Team Expert.
Oh, my goodness.
I can't, in good conscience, take this competition seriously and pick Expert to beat Misfits. With the
Yeah,
way Expert looked at last week, and the
the way Misfits looked all season.
yeah,
Moving on, though, I am going to pick in next series. This is probably the hardest one to pick. Dignitas and Fnatic. I'm going to go Dignitas. It's going to be one of the slugfest 5-game series, and it's going to be 3-2 in favor of Dignitas.
I'm going the opposite way. 3-2 Fnatic.
Because I have some points to spare, I'm locking 3-2 Dig.
Wow.
dang.
I think this is going to be
Believe
gonna
it.
be
Believe
the
in
best
James
series of
Baker.
the week.
This is what I'm
and I
talking
want to put
about.
faith in Dig.
This is what I want the lock to be used for. Those gutsy picks. Put it on the line. Not this. Let's go with the simplest solution and just try to game points like the rest of us did. No, Carl
gosh.
is living the spirit of the locked pick.
I can't argue with this strategy since he's so far ahead.
Well, I tried to do last week was to lock Fnatic 3-0 B Genius.
Yeah, that's fair. And it
That's
worked.
how I got to 38 points.
Oh, my
It
gosh.
definitely worked.
Since that's happened in the past, I'm going to be risky.
Yeah, I'm gonna go 3-2 Dig here.
Wow.
I think Dig is going to pull it off, but it's not going to be a pretty series, and it's not going to be easy, but it's going to be a lot of fun to watch.
Yeah, I believe in James Baker, by
Yeah.
the way. That's
James
how it's going to
Baker
win.
now.
We're all James Baker. Final series of the EU is going to be Synergy versus Playing Ducks. Flying Ducks? Playing Ducks? I forget what they're called. Playing Ducks. Playing Ducks.
Ducks?
I have Synergy winning 3-1.
Did you just pull that number randomly out of thin air?
Yes.
Because I feel like you didn't even think about that. Synergy's pretty dumpster fire. I'm gonna say 3-2 Playing Ducks because Playing Ducks is a fuel for the dumpster fire. There's a gas they're throwing on it. So
I'm sorry, you said what for that?
3-2 Ducks.
3-2 Ducks? Okay. Sorry. Trying to keep up here. P-Flame?
Considering Playing Duck is 140 points above Synergy on my table, I'm going to say 3-1 Ducks.
There's got to be an upset sometime this week, right? Like,
There
come
has
on.
to be.
Yeah.
But
And that upset's going to come from no tomorrow.
honestly, if there's an upset, it's going to be in the last game of Sunday or last game Saturday, first game Sunday, the Expert Misfits and the Dig Fanatic games.
Mm-hmm.
Those are going to be good games, I think. As much as my head's telling me Misfits going to easy 3-1, I think most teams have a fall sometime in the season. Expert might do it. Who knows?
Yeah, I'm going 3-2 Synergy here. I think it's the old clown car fiesta thought. Two bad teams enter. No one wants to take the series. One team manages to win in Game 5. We saw it twice last weekend, and this is going to be the match, and I think Synergy will eke it out.
All right.
There you have it. That is our picks for week number 4 of HGC NA in EU. And I think that's going to bring us to the end of episode 92 of the Heroes Power. We've been going for
Watching
a while
you,
here.
Equinox.
Yeah, we're going to watch you, Equinox. But if you haven't ever seen our show before, we do have a play portion coming up where if you'd like to play some Heroes games with us, we usually try to do ARAMs if we have the numbers, but we'll do Brawls, we'll do Team League, whatever people are up to or feeling up to, and we will start that right as soon as we finish recording. Just join the channel BlizzPro inside the Heroes client, as well as join discord.blizzpro.com, and that will get you onto our Discord server where we do chat over there. And as well, we have a Patreon, patreon.com/heroespower. Make sure to check that out for all the details. If you want to help support the show, we really would appreciate it. And check out here'sthestorm.blizzpro.com. All the Heroes content is there. And if you want to catch up on past episodes of the show, youtube.com/blizzpro has all your archived shows as well. And also on here'sthestorm.blizzpro.com, you can go subscribe to the audio feed if you'd like to listen to the audio version of our podcast, which we do post every week as well. And just a quick shout out to the other fine shows on the BlizzPro network. Wednesdays at 6 p.m. Pacific is West March Workshop for Diablo 3. Thursdays at 7 p.m. Pacific is Payload Podcast for Overwatch. And Sundays at 7 p.m. Pacific is Well Met for Hearthstone. And once again, thanks to BlizzPro for helping us out, being a part of our show all through 92 episodes. It's been a great partner. And as well, Legion by Lenovo and Intel, thank you for partnering with us. And make sure to check them out on all their social media. Quick shout-outs before we go into our game portion. Balrog Van.
Just want to echo those Legion by Lenovo shout-outs. They got a great Twitter follow. They're fun. They put out all kinds of different kinds of stream all the time. They sent me amazing equipment. This is great, top-notch gear. It's worth purchasing. I stream pretty much every week. You can check me out almost every day, every week. You can check me out, twitch.tv/PaulRockVan. I do speed runs. I play Heroes. I do other things. It's good times.
Most definitely. P-Flame G, how about you?
Not much.
Is that it?
Alrighty. Zextrus, how about you?
Shout outs to me for hitting a new PB in Phantasy Star 4. Shout outs to Charlie for always hosting my channel when I stream.
Aww.
Shout outs to our patrons. Shout outs to by Legion.
Lenovo by
Almost as well
Legion.
as his variant's name.
Legion by Lenovo.
But yeah, that's it for me.
Yeah, and as far as myself, make sure to follow me on Twitter and Twitch. I've been very lucky to be able to cast the last 2 HGC NA Opens. Last night I casted with Zectrus, and there were some really fun games, lots of Varian. And
I was up too late.
Yeah, you were up way too late. But yeah, make sure to check out those so you get notifications when those go live. And we thank you guys, as always, for checking us out. And we will... and huge thanks to Blizzard for putting this up in the launcher. It's been really awesome to be on there and get that kind of promotion out there. So thank you if you're checking out the show from the launcher. And we'll see you in the Nexus in just a bit. Stay tight.